is happening. So it's just a spirit. Your spirit of lust, you leave her.
I slept with this other girl.
So marriage itself does not have love in it. Some people expect magic. They say because I'm married, then love must be there. Marriage is an institution. It's like this room. If you come next week, you will not find these people. It will not be as beautiful as it is today. So love looks for an object. It looks for an object where it will express itself. And normally, most of the time, it looks for marriage, where it will then get in and express itself. You know, it's like a computer. You put a program, you then enjoy the computer. So love is not in marriage, but you must bring in love. You must bring love in marriage. Because marriage itself, it's an institution. That's why you have people who are not experiencing love because they think love is in the marriage. It's not in the marriage. That's why when you read your Bible, you will see love and marriage are separate. So you have to bring them together. It's not automatic that you are married, that your wife or your husband will love you. You have a responsibility. There are certain things you must know so that you begin to apply them and then experience the joy, the proceeds. Are we together? You are quiet. Your quietness is saying something else. It says, what are you saying? We were told that they walk together. They don't. It is something you bring in the marriage. If you don't have love, it's not automatic that when you enter into marriage, you will have love. It's not automatic. You don't have love. And then they say, now you are getting married. So you enter into marriage. Love now is there. It's not possible. You come in the marriage with love. Hey. If your mother did not love you, your father did not love you, and you don't have God, that marriage will suffer. Because you will keep abusing marriage, expecting marriage to produce love. Divorce is abuse to marriage. Not to human, not to each other. But marriage suffers because you keep expecting so much from it. And yet it doesn't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? So that's why you cannot enter into marriage and experience love without God. So God is love. When you have God, you are bringing God in marriage. Because God is not in marriage, but it's an institution that He started. God is not in what He formed. He is not there. He is not those things also. So it is our responsibility to then take what God has given to us and affect it with the presence of God. Just because you were created by God does not mean that you have God. So these are things we must know so that we take responsibility. We expect too much from marriage, and yet 100% of the job must come from us. You have to know what love is. You have to know where to get love so that you don't expect your wife to do all the things. So that you don't expect your husband to do all the things. Because you know where to find love. You don't find it from your wife. You give it to your wife so that your wife can give it the way you have given it. When you give to your wife the love, your wife will take what you are giving to her and then nurture it and give it every day. Give it percent of it. Give you percent of it because you have given. It's like somebody who gives you money. And then every day he has given you 100 rand. And every day you give 10 rand. You give 10 rand. You give 10 rand. You give 10 rand. And then as long as he keeps giving to you, so that means you will always have 10 rand to give. So you can't come in and expect 10 rand to be there. You have to be giving 100 rand so that there's 10 rand available for you. This is a big problem. And that's why many people are struggling today. Because they expected marriage to be this thing. And all of a sudden, it's not, and they are disappointed. They say, marriage is not good. No, it's good. Only when you know the role you're supposed to play. Only when you know what it is. Only when you know. If you do not know, abuse comes in. So you must know. Tell your neighbor, you must know. And that's why we come together like this. We come together like this so that we can learn. Praise the Lord. So love needs an object towards which it may direct its attention, care, and resources. Love gives and is therefore rewarded. The man is rewarded with a wife that will help him. The woman with someone to love her and provide her with security. So let me talk about the types of love that must be practiced in marriage. It's important. The types of love that must be practiced. So you are entering into marriage. Now, can I have 3 people? Yes, you and your wife. Okay, can I have a man? Sit, come. So you face this way. Stand there. Yeah. Go back a little bit. Both of you stand together. Stand together. Yes. You are marriage. He is marriage. Okay? They want to get in the marriage. Meaning they want to get married. So that means they are entering into the institution of marriage. So both of them, they must have love. Because they are not going to find love in here. You are not going to find education in a university. Education comes with the educators. In the institution called the Wits University or Pretoria University. There must be educators. I'm an educator of what marriage is. So I come in the institution also. So now I'm in the institution. So I'm teaching you. Marriage is empty. Does not have love. But you bring love. I'm a teacher of love. So I'm going to help you how to use what you have already. If you don't have, then we are talking in vain. You must have love. At least some of you, you entered with the love that you got from your mothers and your fathers, even if God was not there. But at least you came in with the love that your parents gave. And that's why that love is struggling today. So now you are coming in. Come into the institution of marriage. They are coming in. Then they bring love in the institution. So the institution gives them an opportunity, ground to love one another. So, again, he must know what to do. She must know what to do in here. It's like you get into F&B. They give you Dr. Kumalo's t-shirt and the shorts and the Cox. It's not automatic that soccer will begin to come. All of a sudden you can play. Even if you can put Dr. Kumalu, one of the best players in South Africa, the t-shirt will not make you know how to play soccer. So they are in here, they must know. So that's why there's education before you enter. Come here. So there's education before they come in. So that when they come in, they go in, then they know what to do. If they go in and don't know what to do, they will first abuse marriage before they abuse each other. Because they are going to expect so much from marriage. They'll even take the jacket of marriage. So that others, when they look at marriage and say, we are not going in there. Are we together? So they must know before they enter. And that's why we call premarital, where my wife is teaching, is showing us, opening our eyes so that we may know, so that we are equipped before we get in. So thank you. You may be seated. Praise the Lord. So there are 3 types of love that must be practiced in marriage. Romans 5 verse 8. We are looking at agape love. These 3 types of love are all important. You need them, all of them. Yeah, you must have 3 of them. You must have them. Don't have agape only. Every time you are with your wife, you are talking, you say, oh, Apostle Paul, yes, young busis, Paul, yes. Young busis. He's a blessing in my life. And that time your wife wants something. Wants stuff. She doesn't want Paul. Let's read.
But God showed his great love.
God showed his great love, yes.
For us by sending Christ to die for us.
Now, he sent Christ to die for us. Now, he's now telling us what this love is. He says, he loved us when we were sinners. He sent Christ to die for us. So he's telling us what agape love is. Continue.
While we were still sinners.
While we were still sinners. Can you see that? So while we were sinners. So in other words, while your wife is doing wrong, love them. So we when we see our wives or our husbands doing wrong, we don't love. And yet agape love is needed in marriage. You must have it. Unconditional love. It must be there. Love expressed it by sending Jesus to die when we did not deserve. When we did not even love him, he loved us. Can you love your wife or your spouse in spite of? Not because of. That is what is expected of you. And that's why you must embrace this love. It will enable you to love your wife or your spouse in spite of. Are you there? Ephesians 5 verse 25. This is what we call the God kind or type of love.
Verse 25.
Yes.
For husbands, this means love your wives, just as Christ loved the church.
How did Christ love the church?
He gave up his life for her.
That's it. Give your life for your wife. Give your life for your wife. That's not what we do today. This is what is expected of us. I know some of you are here to renew, but this is what you must know. That this is the type, look, whether wapeta msadi wa hao, agape love, agape hair. Whether wapeta muna hao, agape him. This is an ability that God gives when we embrace his love. Are you with me, Bazalwa? You say, I love you in spite of all these issues. I love you even if you are fat. I love you. Yes. Kunyetsulis lenda solis tool. I love you. Because lerato la chenja, ha figure I change. Hey, the love changes with the figure. When the figure is changing, the love is changing. Look at your wife and say, I love you in spite of these issues. I love you even if you don't have money. Even if you are dumb. I love you. That is true love.